6 years old when he came to Rainier School. He was one of the first wave of folks that came here back in 1939. This facility, or this place, was chosen by Washington State, by the legislature, because of the luscious farmland that they have around here. So the initial thought for Rainier School was it would be a self-sustaining dairy and farm. And so he was one of the first folks who came here, and he started working on this farm and on this dairy. And he's been here his whole entire life. When clients came here, they literally hand wrote their name in the registry in the book. And there's a handwritten name, Larry Butts, November 22nd, 1939, Larry Butts. At that point in time, a woman might have a baby who had developmental disabilities. The doctor might take the baby and say, hey, let me just take care of this for you. I've got a great place for this baby. And the doctor himself or his staff would bring the baby to Rainier School. I mean, it was really kind of an informal process too, as I understand it. Sometimes they might just show up. Sometimes parents would show up at Rainier School and say, this is my son, come take him. And I'm not judging these people either, because these were people who are in desperate need of help and really believed that this was the facility that could help them. We're not sure if there was any family involvement at all until he was in his 70s, when a couple sisters discovered that he was here and then started a relationship with him.
I personally have known Larry for 43 years. And in that time frame, I witnessed him reuniting with all three of his siblings and his niece. It's hard to describe, but when his niece walked through the door, he recognized that she belonged to him. It was, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very touching.
You did 3 good years, my friend. Now it's time for a new adventure.
So we're always looking to see if people are ready to move to the community, and he had no barriers to community placement. He was ready to, to live in the community and to enjoy retirement and enjoy himself. Seemed very appropriate for him.
We're a program where you're required to provide active treatment to people, training programs, aggressive training programs. Larry's pushing 90 at this point, and Larry's just not wanting to do that anymore. He just wants to sit, watch his John Wayne movies, watch some great Westerns. We need a place really that would just adore and love this man, and where he can just be the king of his domain in this thing. And as someone who's getting 90, could also provide for his physical care needs as well. And so it did, after a few hiccups, we did end up finding this place. It's a beautiful adult family home. They've got just wonderful caring staff there, and they've done nothing but great things with Larry.
This is your shower. You like it?
Yeah. It took a while before that transition could go through, because they needed for him to be comfortable, and also for them they needed us to be comfortable with him. So we had to shadow with John. Also there was Andy, who was the house manager over there, and also the direct staff that he could send. So it was a good transition, and we feel honored to have Larrie in our home.
This is something that I've learned about moving people who've been here for a very long time, because I've moved out a couple hundred people at this point in my career. And we always have this concern from parents, guardians, staff, this person's been here so long, if we move them out, they're gonna fall apart, they're not gonna know what to do. But we're forgetting one thing, is that it was never their idea to live here in the first place. So given this opportunity to thrive, I've always just seen people thrive when they move out.
Well, I'm glad it finally happened, but I think that he's aged well. It's time for him to move on with his life and enjoy the life that he has left. I'm excited for this move for him.
I am so happy for him, because coming here at the age of 6 in 1939 when we first opened, he has seen some things. He's just a piece of history.
It just feels great, and especially since it was such a successful transition. And it did show the world that we can even move people who've been here for 80 years or more to a community setting. And it is a good thing for them, and they can be very successful, and they can thrive, and they can have a good life.